Purpose of this movie is to try to explain a little bit about the spacing we use and the use of single and double gaps. So we start off with just a description of some of the spaces that we use. So in our perimeter spacing, we have the top, we have the two swing spots, we have the wings, which are foul line extended, and the corners, which are in line with the basket. Now let's stop right here and look. A 5-out offense is one used by many youth teams, and in this team we think we have good spacing. The problem is that most of what we have are what are called single gaps. The problem with single gaps is, first of all, when there's a stationary pass, we can see that the defender is actually closer to the ball than the pass receiver, and very often this allows that player to jump in and actually make the steal. The second issue is when we now try to dribble into the single gap. Again, this help defender is very quick to help. This player is it's very easy for them to help, and it makes the decision by the offensive player have to occur very quickly. And also, not only are they quick to help, they're quick to recover, and a lot of times no advantage is gained. One advantage is the backdoor pass. The problem is, a lot of times if help arrives, the only option, as we can see, is a pass to a perimeter player. There is no pass usually available to the rim. What a lot of teams do is they'll play sag against this type of offense, and when they sag, no backdoors are available. So how do we take advantage of this? What can we do to give the offense an advantage? Well, what we like to do is create double gaps by not having that player, by cutting a player. Now we have the option of allowing to cut a player into that double gap, and you can see our wing player here is starting to make the cut into the double gap. This now puts the defense in motion, and now we have a chance to play dynamic one-on-one, which means we're going to attack immediately and read the defense before we catch the ball. And here we see that our player has chosen, since the overplay, to attack the baseline. Now when the help comes, we have many options besides just the one pass to a perimeter player. Okay? We could make the pass to the post player, so we have an option to pass at the rim. They could also probably pass on the diagonal for the three. We also see that they have a pass to the drift, who's gotten into the eyes of the passer. And always, if they've gotten to 2 feet, come to a good stop, this player could pivot. And on the pivot, since no one was open originally, there's secondary cuts, and we could again find any of the 4 players. Okay, so let's reset and look at the second thing. So we've made our cut to make the double gap. The other thing it does is allows now the ball handler to dribble into the double gap. On the first action, you can see that everybody was pushed away. They moved off the ball. They read the movement of the ball. When the ball breaks the foul line, now we're going to read what we want to do. And in this case, player number 4, you can see player 4 here, has gone to the spot that is furthest away from her help. Right there, her defender. So she's cleared behind, and this has allowed a pass back out. Now what has this done for us? Right away we have a player now, here's our player, and they have a double gap on either side with a player closing out. This is an ideal situation for us. We have an option for the shot, but on the closeout we can also now attack and read into these double gaps. So here we can see our players attacking to the middle, and again she has numerous reads where she could pass the ball. So let's rewind. If for some reason the player freezes the ball, and this is one of the big problems in today's offense with the 24-second shot clock, is the player holding on to the ball. Well, what this allows is for the defense to build their help defense. And you can see here that we now have the player in a perfect force position. We have help defense is in the key, and everyone is in perfect defensive position, and now it makes it much more difficult for that offensive player to make a good read. Okay? We want to keep the offense moving. The first option is we just want to keep cutting. So we saw player 3 make the cut, Now we have the chance for that next player to go dynamic one-on-one into the double gaps. And again, we can see we've got a gap here and a gap here that player could attack. Again, if they didn't have anything, they could make the next pass, and again the play continues. And again, we see double gap, that now this player. So we continue to pass on that 1 second advantage to the next player who can now read into those double gaps looking for the advantage. Okay, if we rewind to show that's it. The second thing that happens is maybe we don't have that ability to pass and cut. Sometimes player with the ball will do what is called a dribble center. This is like a pass. She just centers the ball by moving it with a dribble. When you're dribbled at, so in this case our player 3 has been dribbled at by player 4. She is now going to make that good cut, backdoor cut, and again, what have we created? We've created our double gaps on either side. Notice that player 1 is not following too quickly. She's staying about a gap and a half away. So now when player 4 does pick up the ball, we have a chance for a double gap on either side. Very, very important concept in today's offenses.